Hi, I'm Brad1 and welcome to a how-to video on how to edit a Pewdiepie video. This is how we do it. I use Adobe Premiere. First, you'll want to bring in your footage. When Felix sends us a piece of footage, the first thing that he wants us to do is to adjust his voice in such a way that he sounds normal. This is how he normally sounds.
Brad, I do not give you any permission to use my face.
Horrific. What you'll want to do to adjust that is come over to here in the effects panel and you'll find a folder called How to Make a Pewdiepie Video 101. Click in there, go to the pitch shifter, bring that over there, and then you want to drop his semitones down to about -4, and then he should sound like this.
My likeness or brand in any way, shape, or form.
Sounds kind of normal. Finally. Now, of course, the very next and possibly the most important thing about editing a Pewdiepie video is the color correction. And this is how you do some basic color correction. If you look here, you can see that the colors are a little flat. You need to lighten it up a little bit. You'll want to come again over to the effects panel, go to color correction, and you'll see there's color balance, HLS. And that's what you want to use for color correction. And you just bring that over there and then you adjust the hue so that he looks more alive, and then adjust the curves. You'll also get some tint wheels, and you can use those to make him look a little more human. And then lastly, just to give him a little more life in that sallow Swedish skin of his,
I do not give you any permission.
what we like to do is mess with the brightness and contrast, move those up and down, move the dials up and down until he looks kind of normal on your screen. Like about there. The next most important thing that you want to do is bring in some music. The style that I edit in is sort of forward editing. We don't have very much time to edit these videos. We have about 30 minutes to an hour to edit each of these videos. So I like to forward edit, and the next thing you'll want to do is bring in the music. That way it's already done and you can bring the music up and down appropriately on each cut that you make instead of bringing it in afterwards. We just bring that in there. Usually I find that Felix's footage is extremely quiet. There's no way of adjusting it without going into a lot of effort every single day just to adjust and amplify it in such a way that it doesn't bring the room tone up to a disgusting, constant, endless hiss in the background. So the best thing to do is to bring the music bed down to match the almost imperceptible tones of Pewdiepie's voice. About -30 should do it. And then that should sound a little something like this.
Brad, I do not give you any permission to use my...
Perfect! Now the next thing we're going to get to is the actual cutting of the footage. You'll see here that there is a piece of dead air there. You can see through the waveforms that he's no longer speaking. The quickest way to edit through one of these videos is just to cut those parts out. If he's not saying something, nothing's happening. Cut them out. And a little trick I like to use, and this is genuine, if you cut right up to the line of the beginning of your first waveform there, it will make a nice clean cut when you're speaking. Look at this. And what you do is you cut that, you remove the bit that you don't want, remove the part you don't want, bring that piece of footage up to the other one, and then play back.
Face, my likeness, or face, my likeness.
And look at that, that's smooth. That is smooth, that's a smooth cut. And there's no awkward pause before he starts speaking again. So you want to cut it right up to the line. Not even a single extra frame should be spent looking at Felix if you can avoid it. The thing with Felix is he often messes his sentences up. He's not actually fluent in English. You may have noticed that he's fumbled over his words before, and the reason behind that is because he's extremely terrible at putting sentences together. So quite often part of the job here is to edit his sentence structure in such a way that he's making sense, like so.
Brad, I do not give you any permission to use my face, my likeness, or brand in any way, shape, or form in your own video. Specifically. Brad, I give you permission to use my face, my likeness, or brand in any way, shape, or form in your own video. Specifically.
There we go. Now he's making a lot more sense. We're almost done here with the basics. This is just the basics. Basic tutorial. Cut and paste. Cut and dry video. There are a lot of other options that you can use, you can do to accentuate the video. You'll find them all in your How to Make a Pewdiepie Video 101 folder. But again, today we're only going with the basics. You can add some things on. Add a little sphere eyes, throw in a little sound effect, just to really emphasize his weird face.
To use my face, my likeness.
Now the final thing you'll want to do is ensure that the quality isn't high enough. You have to bring the quality down. It's absolutely imperative. It's one of the very first and most important things that it says on the contract when you first start working for PewDiePie. One of the best ways you can do this when you go into your export settings is ensure that the video size is much smaller than it should be. What you want to do is remove match source, ensure that the width and height are much smaller than they should be. The original video size here is 1280 by 720, and we're going to knock it down to 480 and ensure that the bitrate is as low as you can make it. And then you export that, and then what you actually do is you bring it back in and then you export that same footage again at an even smaller size. We're going to go with 352. Again, bitrate as low as you can make it. Export that, bring the footage back in, and this time bring the scale back up to 1280 by 720, and that will stretch all those pixels out that have already been destroyed, and that will bring your quality down. It'll keep the video size correct for the upload to YouTube, but it will destroy the quality, and that's extremely important. When the video is finished, it should look something like this.
Brad, I give you permission to use my face, my likeness, or brand in any way, shape, or form in your own video, specifically.
And that's a perfect PewDiePie video, perfectly color corrected, sound is level, his voice sounds human. Most importantly, the quality is at the absolute lowest possible mark that we can reach. There are some other things you can do. Obviously, you can throw a little explosion in. There's almost certainly going to be a point where Felix is going to try and sell someone something, and it's important that we use the PewDiePie shamelessly sells you something .mp3 track. Maybe I'll show you how to edit a PewDiePie ad next time, and maybe I'll show you how to edit one of those. If you smash that like button, if I get enough likes on this video, I'll make another tutorial for you. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. I'm Brad1. I used to have a different name, but we're going with Brad1. If you want to see me in my natural habitat, just being normal, then head over to my Twitch channel because I live stream on there a lot. Links in the description. Thanks very much. Bye.